We have become strangely over delicate as of late. As a species, I would say, we have become very tremulous and delicate, most of us, and we have become very risk averse. I don't know what's happened to the balls of the species. We used to be pretty fucking tough. We used to be adventurous. We used to have hair on our chests. We used to look at the dawn and say, what colossal fuck up can I do today that is going to randomly advance the species? Are based on genes that experiment and fail mightily. And we spread out and we waged war and we pushed the boundaries and we pushed the envelope geographically, philosophically, politically. There were revolutions. We broke with past orders. We had new gods. We forgot old gods. Mankind has forgotten more gods than it will ever worship in the future. And we overturned everything. And we took down dynasties and we ended empires. And we had this questingness. We had this hunger. We had this explore or die. And there was land that would open up in the West. Here, 40 acres in the middle of nowhere. You got to clear it yourself. There's going to be bugs and bears and mosquitoes the size of biplanes. You're going to be like Cary Grant in an old movie ducking, and there's going to be diseases, and there's going to be Indians, and there's going to be God knows what your neighbors are going to be like. And if you stub your toe and get an infection, you might as well just saw off your own foot. And we used to say, great, 40 acres, fantastic. I've had it with this city. Off I go. Off I go into the middle of nowhere. Into the middle of nowhere. We used to be willing to cast aside our whole lives, cast aside our whole tribe, cast aside our whole environment to explore the new world that we all value and live in for the most part. We broke with history. We broke with slavery. We broke with the aristocracy. We broke with the theocracy. These were savage, savage battles. But we used to be very robust, a very robust people. And I don't know exactly. I don't know. But something has happened. Something has happened to the point where it's like, well, but Aunt Edna, who's a school teacher, might not like me. And that's, to me, how the mighty balls have fallen and shrunk into dust specks hanging in a largely empty nutsack. I'm sorry to be so graphic. It's just the way I feel about it. It's not a philosophical argument. It may not apply to you. But it's like, but my second cousin who works for the IRS might disapprove of my theories. God, really? This is what stops us now? This is what stops the progress of the species? Imagine if this had been the case in the past. The abolitionist was like, slavery is wrong, slavery is evil, down with slavery. Well, what? What? Oh, I've got a third cousin who's a slave owner. I'm sorry for offending everyone. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Let's keep going with the slavery because I don't want any awkward Thanksgiving dinners. No! Awkwardness should be the first course at Thanksgiving dinners. Because with awkwardness comes challenge. And when did it ever become, but we're so frail in our beliefs that counter-information enrages us like tantrums from 2-year-olds who can't get lollipops? This idea that you just can't get counter-information without getting offended and upset. Man, God, we used to be robust. There used to be these very powerful debates. There used to be these very great differences of opinions. And yes, sometimes families would split down the line, down the middle, and some would become Protestants and some would remain Catholics, and some people would be abolitionists and some people would be pro-slavery, and there would be schisms and there would be splits and there would be people who would not talk to each other because of moral foundations and because of moral commitments. And now I don't know what's happened, but it's like all of a sudden it's just like Well, we have a difference of opinion morally. We can't have that. We've got to all stay so quiet. We can't have any conflicts. No, have conflicts. Make the tabletop jump with the force of difference of opinion. That's called progress. We've become so risk averse, and the weird thing is that everything we like, everything we enjoy, everything that is important to us that is made by men was made by people who said, fuck risk. I may not love it, but I'm going to embrace it. Like that smelly aunt who uses way too many mothballs. May not love her, going to give her a hug. May not love risk, going to embrace it. Everything that you use around you that's man-made is people who said, screw risk, I'm doing it anyway. But we've become so tremulous and so scared. We are like a nation, a planet of fraidy cats. Well, no, except for the crazy religious extremists. They're acting on their beliefs, aren't they? Aren't they pretty much doing what the Bible and the other religious books tells them to do? Aren't a lot of them really committed to what it is that they're doing? And we're like, well, I don't know. I might offend some people in my life, so I really don't really want to talk about peaceful parenting, and I don't really want to talk about a free society, and I don't really want to talk about violence and taxation and theft, and I don't really want to talk about the counterfeiting of national debts, and I don't really want to... Well, is ISIS interested in setting up an Islamic caliphate? Why, yes, they are. Are they doing a lot about it? Yes, they are. But we don't want to even offend our third cousin who works for the state by talking about it. When did we are like, especially the Western European Freedom Club, holy crap, we had balls so heavy they clang from one side to the other like the bells of Big Ben. And now we're just so... Is it true? Oh, but it's offensive. Is it true? No, but it bothers me. Is it true? Do you have a counter argument, or are you just mewling like a baby cat in my ear trying to distract me from something from which I cannot be distracted? Oh, but the people who work for the government might be upset if I'm an anarchist or a libertarian. Well, are they very upset about taking your money by gunpoint? No, they're not. They're very happy about it. So they can maybe live with a little emotional discomfort, given that they're taking your stolen money as their pay. Maybe they can feel a little bit uncomfortable when they eat the mashed potatoes that they're taking out of your ass. The idea that we've just become this, don't offend anyone, don't bother anyone, don't upset anyone. I can't handle it when people don't like something that I'm doing. Who does that paralyze the most? It's part of the whole evil rules the world. This is what is keeping people down. But we're told suddenly everyone's equal, so we can't get mad at anyone. We can't offend anyone. Nobody can be upset. And if somebody is upset, that means we're in the wrong. No. If bad people are upset, we're in the right. If you're fighting cancer and the cancer was sentient, the cancer would hate you if you were winning. That's the point. That's the point. This idea that we can't upset anyone is implanted to us by bad people, who then don't have to reply to our arguments, don't have to reply to the facts or the data. All they have to be is upset, and somehow we're wrong. But that's lazy people who want to exploit us and don't want to think or have no good arguments. They substitute, I'm offended, I'm upset, I'm outraged, I'm fainting. I don't feel safe. I need a safe place. I need a teddy bear and a cookie and a hug. Can't believe that Meat Man said this. Oh my God, have we all become 12-year-old girls? I mean, is that where the destiny of the human race is? The race that conquered the planet? The race that conquered the moon? The race that is going to conquer the entire fucking solar system? Well, we don't offend anyone. Nobody's going to offend anyone, going to upset. Who told us this? Why was it even remotely believed? Every goddamn thing that has come great out of human history, every progress, pisses off just about everyone else around. Were the dinosaurs happy that the mammals ate all their food? Are we happy to not be dinosaurs? Why, yes, we are. Is the dinosaurs going hungry the price of us being sentient beings? I'm fine with that. Fuck you, dinosaurs. We got the food. We evolved. We're better. And it's the same thing among human beings as well. Got better ideas. I'm sorry. They just kind of came to me. Got better ideas, better evidence, better arguments, better presentation. Sorry. We are not all equal in the human race. There are good people and there are bad people. You know, there's these studies that have come out recently, which I massively applaud, about how great religion is for people, about how it protects people from dysfunctional behavior. Absolutely beautiful. I'm behind that 150%. Do you know why religion is so great for people? Religion is so great for people because religion reminds people of evil, that there is evil in the world. Now, they supernaturalize it and they say, well, people are the puppets of the... No, you can't have a functional life if you don't believe in evil. You can't it's like being a doctor who doesn't believe there's any difference between health and sickness. What's your job? You've got no job. If you're a doctor, you don't believe in health, you don't believe in sickness, you're a fraud. You've got nothing to do. I'm a mathematician, but all numbers are the same. No, you're not a mathematician. You're a fraud. And if you don't believe in evil, what the hell are you going to do with your life? Video games and porn? TV shows? Sex? Money, buy stuff? Fuck, that's like a tree growing into its own roots and calling itself procreative. You got nothing to do if there's no evil to fight. If there's no illness, there's no need for doctors. The whole profession is a fraud. And if there's no evil, there's no need for virtue. And that's why you see evil people will try to tell you that there's no such thing as evil to make you cast aside the necessity of virtue. As the old saying goes, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing people he doesn't exist. And the reason why religion protects people is because religion reminds people that there's evil in the world and that their job is to do good and their job is to do right, to be righteous, to do moral things, because morality is uncomfortable and religion says it's worth it for heaven. It's worth it because God wants you to be virtuous, the devil wants you to be bad, and you get to go to heaven if you're good. And going to heaven makes people willing to make their second cousin uncomfortable. And there's no secular equivalent to evil other than, that's inappropriate. That's dysfunctional. That makes me uncomfortable. Oh yeah, there's a moral crusade. Let's make you comfortable. Because that way, the world doesn't have to be a battle between good and evil. The world can be an extra fucking pillow for your big ass. Because comfort's all we care about now. Edward Gibbons in The Decline and Fall of Roman Empire. 5 things that brought down Rome. Destruction of the family. An excess of taxation. An excess of arguments. An addiction to merely sensual and materialistic pleasures. And the fall of religious values. When people can tell you there's no God, the next thing they want you to believe is there's no evil. And I have more respect for communism than secular leftism. Because at least communism said, there's evil, he's over there, he's fat and he wears a monocle, let's go get him. I didn't approve of them. Go get him. But any belief system that does not recognize the reality of evil is stripping you of the capacity to do good. And because we have forgotten that there's evil in the world, we have forgotten that there is some goddamn things in the world that are damn well worth making people uncomfortable about. I'm sorry that taxation is theft. It's not my fucking fault that that's a fact. I'm sorry that fiat currency is counterfeit intergenerational theft and fraud. That's not my fault. I didn't invent it. I didn't make it wrong. Don't shoot the messenger. It's not my fault that 2 and 2 make 4. It's not my fault there's no God. It's not my fault that governments are immoral. It's not my fault that public schools are indoctrination. It's not my fault that people are lied to and other people kiss and lick the boots of those who lie. It's not my fault for telling you what is true.